Hello, Old Nuff! Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. And today, this is gonna be a crash course on Roblox Studio. Okay, pag hindi nyo pa po na-download yung Roblox Studio, I'll put a link on the description box below. Feel free to pause yung video and then just come back once you're done installing it. Okay, this video is for absolute beginners. Kung may experience na po kayo, this is not for you. So you might want to skip this out. But for us na beginners, what we want to look at here is yung mga basics ng Roblox. You know, just hopefully pagkatapos ng video is it's enough for you to get started building your own game. Okay. What you have here is yung mga templates. Feel free to explore these templates. May mga pre-made objects or assets silang nandyan sa mga templates na yan, which you can modify and parang do a research on, kasi may mga script pwede mo nang gamitin right off the bat. Okay, but for us, for this video, let's click on Baseplate. Alright, so I find na mas madaling matutunan yung yung process ng paggawa ng isang game using Roblox Studio by just following yung steps or just by following a tutorial. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to find out or trying to know all the functions here. Okay, kung ano yung mga saan siya gagamitin or things like that. Okay, we will discuss it one by one. Every time we use it, every time we use something there, I will try to give you a bit of information kung bakit yun yung gagamitin natin, ano yung function niya, and probably some tips and tricks. Once you open up yung Baseplate, yung basic or yung standard na setup ng GUI, kinlose ko yung mga windows na nasa left side, but basically I'm gonna show you kung ano yung I think na makikita nyo on your screen. So ganyan yung default setup niya. Okay, so these are windows na pwede mong click and drag, right? Pwede mong i-position kung saan mo gusto, but probably you'll do that pag komportable ka na sa paggamit ng Roblox Studio. So pwede mong i-set up the way you want it. Okay, what we have here is yung tutorial window na basically may link lang dyan para pumunta ka sa development or community website, na pwede ka maki-interact sa ibang mga game developers and also find interesting tutorials. Okay, pwede ka mag-post ng mga questions and also answer some questions to help out others. Okay, so basically it's something, it's a place where you want to go from time to time. Okay, so I'll just close it out, hindi natin kailangan sa video yan. Toolbox. So ito yung may mga pre-made, I'd call it assets na pwede nyong gamitin if you're doing a quick project. Itong mga to is pwede mong i-drag and drop sa map mo or sa game na ginagawa mo. Okay, like for this pine tree, you can just left click and hold and then drag it to your workspace and lalabas na siya. And you can have yung ibang assets like itong zombie and then yung motorcycle, and just note na yung iba dito is free, yung iba is you need to purchase, and some you will need to kind of give at least credit yung mga gumawa. Okay, so but if you're gonna use some of these assets, it's a best practice to give credit to to whoever made it. Okay. For now, I'm gonna select all of that. So what I did is just click on somewhere and then create a box. Iba-box ko lahat ng mga gusto kong select. And yeah, pretty standard. You just left click and then drag to create a box. You'll know na selected yung isang part or isang object sa 3D space mo or sa workspace mo kung may highlight or kung may outline siyang blue. Okay, so to delete, just simply press on delete on your keyboard. And by the way, I'm using a 3-button mouse, a keyboard, and a Windows 10. Sa video card, I'm only using the built-in video card na Intel G4000, I believe. So it shouldn't be a problem kung may computer kang low specs lang. Okay. All right, so we can close this toolbox. We don't need it. And my terrain editor, I haven't tested it out yet, but yeah, we'll probably do in the future. Just close it out for now. Okay, so importanteng mga window na dapat naka-open sa screen mo is, of course, yung workspace, wherein most of the work will be done. Okay, so dito ka mag-edit or magmo-model ng mga assets mo, and yung map mo itself, yung game mo itself. Okay, and yung output, which is just down below it. This will be useful when you start scripting. Okay, so meron tayong Explorer window and then yung properties. Okay, so Explorer window, it's like yung cabinet mo or organizer. So basically, parang puro basically, yeah, basically nga. Lahat ng mga ilalagay mo dito sa workspace is mag-appear siya sa under workspace. So collapsible siya. So currently, meron tayong camera, which is yung nagdi-display ng kung ano yung nandito sa 3D workspace natin ngayon. And then we have a terrain. I'm not really sure kung bakit may terrain siya, but I think yung base, itong baseplate natin is may naka-embed na parang terrain na pwede mo nang i-edit. So pwede ka nang gumawa ng parang mountain dyan. Or rivers or hills or uneven ground instead of just having this flat block. Okay, so yeah, and like it was mentioned, this is a base plate, which is ito. All right, so again, every time you add something here, lalabas siya dito, and this will be useful yung Explorer window kung dumadami na yung mga object or part mo. Sometimes ang nangyayari is nakatago yung part or hindi mo na mahanap sa dami nga. And the best place to look for it is yung dito sa Explorer. So it's a good rule of thumb din na i-rename mo yung mga parts mo para madali mo din siya mahanap dito. Alright, so like to name it, basically ulit, so ito, baseplate natin. Just to rename a part, you can just click on it once, and then my cursor kang nagbe-blink doon. That means you can edit or put whatever you want. Right now, I'm gonna try to name it our ground. Okay. And then sa everything na nandito sa workspace mo, or everything that you see here has properties, which yung window ng properties will be useful. Okay, so one good thing about Roblox Studio is it's beginner friendly siya, wherein you won't have to start from a blank or blank screen na as in black na black lang siya. And here meron ka ng world na na-create para sa'yo. This baseplate acts like yung parang ground natin, and then meron na rin tayong lighting. Okay, I would guess almost midday na tayo, and may physics na rin na nakaset na pwede mo lang i-edit dito sa properties niya. Okay, so like for example, what I'm talking about is ito, playable na yung nakikita niya dito, meaning you can play around kung dito sa ground natin na nakaset. The way to test it, if you want to test it as early as now, is just go make sure that you're in the home tab. So pretty standard naman yung mga nandito sa taas, like any other apps. Meron tayong tabs that houses other buttons, like yung file to create new, save, and everything. Then dito is home, model, test, view, and plugins. So you don't have to worry about this, baka biglang baguhin or anything like that. Okay, so you just have to know na these would house other functions na pwede mong gamitin to make things easier for you. Okay, for now, let's go to home. Make sure in your home tab, and then here just look for an icon or a button that says play. Okay, so when you play this, which I cannot do, or probably pwede kong gawin, when you click on play, ang gagawin ng Roblox is yung avatar mo sa Roblox mismo is ilo-load niya sa current map mo. Okay, so as you can see, although siguro naglalag siya ngayon sa video kasi hindi kayang mag-record at the same time mag-play ng game yung computer ko. Okay, so that's how low the specs is. But anyway, makikita mo, if you move using your avatar, hopefully na-test nyo na yung mga games sa roblox.com, and you should be able to play it now kasi when you try to go to roblox.com, you won't be able to download Roblox Studio if you don't sign in sa roblox.com and create yung avatar mo or yung profile mo. Okay, so if you drop your character there, you should be able to move using your directional buttons, keyboard, which is W to move forward, SAD sa directions na gusto mong puntahan. Okay, then your mouse to move your camera around. Okay, so you can see playable na siya. And then meron na rin siyang gravity, or else yung character mo would just be floating probably around or doing something strange. Okay, and if you jump off yung edge, you'll notice na yung character mo would fall and eventually will die at a certain point. Okay, so ganun yung setup ng Roblox. Okay, to stop yung testing mo, there should be a stop button there. You should be able to spot it right away, so just click on stop for now. And what we want to really discuss here is kung paano mag-build nga, start building, right? So first, let's learn about yung navigation sa 3D workspace mo. You can scroll by using your scroll button. You can zoom in and out, okay, with your scroll button. Right click, holding the right button, and then moving your mouse would rotate your camera, and then of course standard na yung left click to select an object or part. Okay, you can also if you want to pan yung up and down, left, right, should be your middle button. Just press and hold it down, and you should be able to move your camera up, down, left, and right, and just staying on the same position. Or yeah, don't bother about that. Okay, so ayun, forget what I said. All right, so that's how you navigate. Now, how do you add a part? Okay, so if you're still in the home button, look for something that says part. So parang cube yung icon niya. So if you click on that, okay, so by default ang lalabas is isang block. Okay, and it's a rectangular box. Okay, it's like so. And pwede mong palitan yung mga itsura nito. You can modify or manipulate yung block nito to create something else, like maybe a wall ng isang building or bahay. And you can also change the colors. If you go to properties window, you will find color. You can change it to different color instead of just the default gray. Okay, just make sure it's selected, so left click on that part and then go to your properties, and you can change the properties of it, yung color, yung material is yung parang texture niya. Let's say comp. Now let's put brick maybe. Okay, so para mas maging obvious. Okay, ayun yung brick natin. And let's put it back to gray. There you go. You can also change yung size. Okay, so everything here you can change. Yung transparency na lang. 0 is fully nakikita mo, and then transparent, if you go to 1, it's gonna be invincible. All right, so there meron din tayong slider. So it's yung property natin is ranging from 0 to 1, so you can change it on the decimal basta yun. Okay, or you can just slide this bar here. Okay, so you can see, I hope you can see sa video, is yung nakikita, naging transparent siya, nakikita mo yung floor. 45 at 1 is it's fully invincible, tapos 0 is visible siya. Okay, all right, so aside from that, sa properties window na to, you can use your tools here, which is pwede mong i-move yung object if you click on move, kasi by default naka-click tayo sa select, so meaning pwede just nating i-click yung click and then hold, then you can drag yung object around, and papansin mo nakadikit lang siya sa floor natin when you do that. Okay, all right, now if you want to move it, to place it somewhere else, maybe just above the ground, na parang ganyan, nag-float siya, you need to click on move, and then may mga handles tayo dyan to show you kung saan mo siya pwedeng i-move. Like, okay, meron tayong reference dito, which is X, colored red, then Z is yung blue, and then Y is yung green. Okay, so another thing that I forgot to mention is yung reference natin sa 3D workspace natin. Okay, so meron tayong, since it's 3D, meron tayong tatlong reference, which is X, Y, and Z, or Z, which is also here on the upper right corner. It's also color coded, so yung Y is referencing yung invincible line vertical, and then yung X is horizontal. Okay, now there's another one, an extra, which is parang invincible line, which is connecting it from front natin going back. Okay, to demonstrate that is ito yung Z. So pwede mong i-move yung block, yung part mo closer to your camera or further away. All right, and X is left and right, and then Y is up and down. Okay, the reason why I said it's left and right sa X is meron tayong reference dito, kung mapapansin yung parang cube. Okay, para alam natin kung ano yung front, kung nasang side tayo ng 3D world, 3D space natin. So meron tayong front view, left, and then right click, and then scroll, move your mouse. Meron tayong left, back, right, top, and then bottom. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Then meron tayong scale. Just click on scale, and change yung handles natin to just circles. You can left click and hold any of those, and then just drag it. Okay, so again, in reference to X, Y, and Z. So X is direction na to, or here. Y is make it higher, or then Z is thicker maybe. Okay, so depende sa kung nasa, depending on how you're viewing it. So ganyan. Okay, so meron din tayong rotate. I guess gawa tayo ng parang pole para medyo mas obvious siya. Okay, you can rotate your object again in reference to your 3 axes. So Y, sa Z na lang. Okay, so we're gonna rotate it in reference to this, line. So it's blue, and then you can rotate your object like that. Okay, so parang may circular reference siya na pwede mong, as your guide. Right? Okay, so aside from that, meron tayong shortcuts. Okay, so to use these 3 to 4 tools, meron tayong shortcuts. If you hover your mouse sa mga function or buttons na to, lalabas siya. So select would be control 1, press down control and then 1 on your keyboard, then control 2, control 3, and control 4. So that should make things faster when you're modeling. Okay, so like say you want to scale it, instead of going here and pressing scale, you can just hold down control and then number 3 on your keyboard. Magsa-switch yung handles natin, and you can now manipulate the shape, or the size. All right, so aside from that, going back to this size, when you hold down shift and then try to grab a handlebar, mapapansin mo is nakikeep yung shape nung part, but nag-change yung size niya. Alright, and the only way for you to really appreciate kung anong nangyayari sa ganyan is to do it yourself. When you hold down shift and then grab the handle, yung shape is kept, and then yung size is nagva-vary or nag-change. Okay, all right. Another shortcut that will be handy is pressing on F. Make sure, if you want to rotate in reference sa object. Okay, so currently by default nagro-rotate ka sa point kung saan nakalagay yung camera. Okay, so parang imagine yourself nakahawak sa cellphone, and then you just turning, or just moving your hands. Nakatayo ka lang and then you're moving your hands. Parang ganun yung effect niya. Okay, but if you want to rotate around a part, okay, this will be useful kung parang specific yung ipa-place mo yung isang bagay sa isang point, or isang point. Kung gusto mo maging precise yung placement ng part mo, you can press F para mag-focus yung camera mo sa object na yon, and then when you rotate, so that's right click and then hold and then move your mouse, mapapansin mo na yung camera mo is naggumagalaw, and ang center niya is yung part na nakaselect. Right? Hope that's gonna be, that will be useful. Okay. A few more things that I would like to mention here. When you're adding a part, let's say for example we want to add another part, make sure yun na yung camera mo is pointing at the place where you want yung part na mag-appear. Okay, so or in Roblox Studio or other, so Roblox Studio ang tawag is spawn. Okay, when you want something to appear, okay, spawn. Alright, so make sure it always appears sa middle ng camera. So for example, if you put a line from corner to corner, like here to there, and then just create an X, so kung saan yung middle, doon siya nag-appear lagi. Okay, so let's try adding a part. Okay, when you add a part, this is the middle of your camera. Now this is useful. For example, Okay? I mean, it's a tip that you can use kasi, for example, naka-point yung camera mo sa horizon natin. Ang mangyayari is, there's a chance na yung part na i-add mo will be spawned too far kung saan mo gustong ilagay. Like for example, let's demonstrate. Okay, so I'm just positioning my camera sa horizon and then adding a part. So yung part natin is gonna be, it's gonna be too far na kailangan mag-scroll to go close to that part. And if you noticed is lumalayo na tayo sa ground natin. Okay? So which is probably something that you don't want to happen. Okay? So yeah, just note na dapat naka focus yung or naka-point yung camera mo kung saan mo gustong i-add. Alright? So we've been adding a simple block so far. Pero meron tayong ibang part na pwedeng gamitin. So if you click on parang may arrow siya dito na pointing down, just click on that. You'll notice na meron tayong blocks, sphere, wedge, and cylinder. Okay? Pwede mong gamitin. Okay, so now if you combine these together, you can create a more complicated or more sophisticated shape. So let's just try to put it in our floor. Okay, so I'll add a part, which is a block, and then let's add a sphere, then a wedge. No. Select one tayo, control 1 to just make your cursor as function to just select an object. Hopefully hindi kayo nahilo doon. Okay, and then meron tayong cylinder. Alright, so these are the 4 basic parts pwede mong gamitin. Okay, let's rotate this wedge para mas ma-visualize nyo. So control 4 and then rotate along the Y. Okay, go back to select, and yan yung itsura ng wedge. Alright, so these are the 4 parts na pwede mong i-combine or stack together to create another shape. Like for example, ito pwede mong ipatong dito. Yan. No. Okay, we'll discuss. Sorry, hindi dapat yun sa video na to. Okay, so you can, or actually, para maipatong mo siya, can collide to make sure that in-off mo yung can collide mo sa properties niya. Can collide. Let's look for can collide. Right, and use your move. Okay, just dragging it would try to move it along the surface lang ng ibang part. Kasi parang ayan. Okay, so nakapatong siya. Anyway, you get the gist, right? Alright, so yan. Okay. Alright, an art. Alright, so if you try to scroll, to rotate around it, you have you now have a shape, and a different shape. Okay. Alright, so yeah. You can change colors, like I mentioned kanina. You can make this like maybe green. Okay, make sure you click on OK. Then ito is probably, let's make it black. Right, and then ito is just plain red. Alright, so yeah. Ito yung object natin. Alright. Okay, two properties na importante whenever you're building is yung can collide at if you click just one part here and go to properties, can collide and anchored. Okay, so anchored means it's gonna ipipin niya or ipapako niya kung saan mo siya pinuwesto. Okay, so for example, if this is here floating sa ere, okay, if you don't have anchor turned on, ang mangyayari is mag-work yung gravity, it will pull this down. Okay, so magbabagsak siya, and then probably it will roll kung saan malakas yung force. Okay, so make sure that it's anchored. Okay, or let's try to demonstrate. Okay, so if you want to test yung mga parts mo, kung ano yung mangyayari sa mga parts mo without loading your character, just click on the drop down, make sure you're still in the home tab, click on and then just click on run. Okay, so you'll see ito is hindi naka-anchor. Nangyayari is nahulog siya, and the reason why lumusot din siya sa ground is because yung can collide natin is off. So hopefully napansin nyo na if naka-off yung can collide or kung hindi siya naka-check, that means parang magiging ghost siya na lulusot siya sa lahat ng part. Okay, whereas kung naka-on yung can collide natin at naka-on din yung anchor, let's try turning on can collide muna and then run it again. You'll notice na babagsak lang siya sa floor. Okay, because this is also acting like a solid ground. Okay, so and what's gonna happen kung naka-anchor siya is hindi siya, dyan lang siya sa pwesto niya. Okay, click on run. Ayan, nahulog yung ating cylinder, pero itong sphere natin is just staying, ayan, nakalutang lang siya. Alright, so even if your character will try to step on it, hindi siya gagalaw. Okay, alright, so yun yung dalawang importanteng properties na you have to check or uncheck before you test or upload your game. Okay, let's stop this. All right, that should be it. That's the basic. Okay, so just play around your properties. It's okay if you can put big numbers here. Mangyayari lang naman kung masyadong malaki yung number mo at hindi na kayanan ng computer mo is magka-crash. Magka-crash siya. So either mag-close or magpa-pop out siya ng error. Okay, but feel free to play around with the numbers. Put numbers here is like yung size nitong ball natin, or itong sphere natin. There's always three numbers that you need to change, which is X, Y, and Z. Let's try this one. Okay, so yung sa block natin, yung size na currently is 4 by 1 by 2. So 4 is yung itong haba niya, 1 is yung thickness, then 2 is yung width. Okay, so you can change that. It's the same thing with others. So parang imagine mo, ito yung cube na lumalabas nito. Yan yung parang change mo. Let's change this to 5 or 10. Alright, so you'll notice lalaki siya. So it's the same as when you click on scale here or control 3 to scale. Alright, so yeah, you'll notice nag-change the number dyan. And the position which we will discuss probably in the next video. Position, every time you move this around, like you change the new position natin. When you're changing yung position and yung size at gusto mo ng precise na site na na sukat or yung positioning niya, it's best to just enter the numbers here on the properties window. Okay, so it's in reference sa center ng world natin. Kaya negative, probably it's because nasa negative side tayo na x-axis and all that. Okay, so again, to select all, just click and then you should be able to move this all at once. Lahat ng naka-highlight ay naka-blue. Okay. Yeah, and you can also change its shape and scaling niya. Alright, so we will demonstrate the use of this manipulative tools at yung navigation. Let's try creating